Hi, I'm Thessaly.
Zika.
Shraya.
Flynn.
Kellic.
Oma.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had headed back to Saddlemount after discovering everything that you had discovered just to the south. And upon reaching the city, you decided to investigate a little bit further into the possible sightings of Illithid within the city. You all went to where Thessaly knows quite well, the town center and the sort of capitol building in the middle of Saddlemount. And after Oma went invisible and decided to do a little bit of recon to the chagrin of the rest of the party, Oma had discovered Kodam Vo as well as his Illithid sidekick within the building. Oma overheard a brief conversation instructing the Illithid to find whoever had trashed their laboratory and then to meet with another group of mercenaries up in the Venville Rise once he was completed. You all followed Kodam Vo as he exited the building, and Seeker, making quick work of Kodam Vo, pushed him into an alleyway as you all quickly subdued him, tied him up, and put the cloak of invisibility over him. As you all are dragging his body, now bound and gagged, back to the shack where you know Hayfried's teleportation circle to be, you all are walking along the docks. You see the sun that has just set over the horizon, though now at this point, it is much darker than it usually is at this time. You're walking back to the shed. You all have Kodam Vo in your hands. And as you're just about to get to the shed, you all everyone who's carrying Kodam Vo sort of feels him kicking every once in a while and squirming and trying to get loose with really no luck. You all see just off in the horizon a dot. It's a dark point. It's a little bit larger. See, maybe the size of a bird. An owl. You see Eldra on the horizon. Flapping her wings furiously to try and catch back up with all of you. Just as you all meet back at the shack with the teleportation circle, Eldra swirls down and in a loop lands on Seeker's shoulder. What would you all like to do?
With that flourish, I'm just going to look up under my breath. I was wondering when I'd see you again. As I lean on my staff a little bit and steady myself.
I'm just going to give a little smile at Seeker to see him back with Eldra, and then I'm going to elbow Kodam Vo in the ribs to get him to quit squirming.
This will go a lot better if you just stay calm, please. So, thanks.
We can't understand what you're saying. You've got a gag. Nope, still can't.
Be with you in just a few, hun.
I'm just gonna check our how close are we now to the shed? Are we within arm's reach?
You're just walking up, yeah. You're pretty much opening the door at this point.
What's our perimeter look like? Are there any people around, or are we?
Make a perception check. Just previously, you had sort of looked around as you were walking down the docks, and you had noticed that there are, as a vast majority of the ships are now completely out to sea. You see that the docks are much less occupied. What was that perception check?
Natural 1, baby.
Awesome.
Oh, no.
Good one to start it off with.
Yeah.
We're so good.
You're sort of, every time you start to look around, you feel another little kick and jolt from Kodam Vo, so you just can't really focus on looking around at this point.
I'll step up to the door, open it up, and go to the levers.
Okay.
Pull down left, right, middle.
You got it.
Flynn?
I got it.
Do we see him indecisively over the...
I got this.
Over
Just
the
for a
levers?
brief moment, his hand sort of twitches before he pulls the first lever.
Now would be a terrible time to forget, Flynn.
I remember, it's fine. And I pull the last.
All right, and the floor in front of you opens up, revealing the staircase down to the teleportation circle. Is there anything you guys want to do before you actually are teleported back to Hayfried's Void?
I just want to check the shirt that I put over his eyes, make sure it's like nice and tight, and check the ropes as we're like getting ready to get into this.
Yeah. At this point, you guys are fully in the shed, so you feel confident in taking off a little bit of the invisibility cloak to check all the straps and everything. And everything still seems to be tied tightly. You guys did a pretty good job of tying him up, so it doesn't seem like those knots are going anywhere.
Can I look at Codon Vo when the invisibility cloak is off for a second?
Yeah, sure.
And try to see if there's anything on his person that would stop his face changing.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
While you're looking, should we just take this off now? I'm pretty sure we're safe in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it back to Alma, I
I'll
guess.
take it off and hand it to Alma.
Should we give it back to Ulma, though? Should we?
You should. And I put it on. I don't put the hood up, though.
Okay.
Guess that answers that.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't think about that. That's all right.
That's a 4 for investigation.
He's wearing some nice clothes. It doesn't quite look like royalty or anything like that, but from the conversation that you overheard, it sounds probably like someone with some influence. So looking over, you see, there's like a nice necklace, got some jewelry, got some just some generally nice clothes on, any of which could or could not be magical. You're not exactly sure.
Can I put my hands on his face and feel, and I want to feel if it's an image that his face is moving or if it's actually his face is physically moving.
You put your hands on his face and immediately you feel skin and bone shifting. And you feel like you put your hand on his cheek and at one point, like, the eyeball morphs down and sort of touches your finger.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
I just pull my hand back. Ugh, that's really gross.
Oh. That is not what I expected.
It'd be nice if he had just one, because then maybe I could copy it, but I can't do anything with that. Let's get him, let's
Yeah, we can go now.
go back.
That is pretty advanced.
Yeah, how does he do that?
It
We've
feels
seen-
How did they do that?
really gross.
We've seen Alma change into all kinds of weird things, and Shraya too, but just one at a time.
No, just like a sheep and a bird, and that's kind of it, right? Did I change into anything else?
Raven?
Well, that's a bird.
Oh, yeah.
It's a type of
That's
bird.
fair.
Hey, we might not want to use our names with this one, because they haven't seen many of us yet, and we may not want to use our names.
Yes, that's a sound plan. I will go by. Kanaya. How about that? Everyone, while he's still around us, call me Kanaya. Does it work? Wait. What about...
Sure.
Are we all doing names?
No, Flynn,
Well, hey!
I mean, well, give me a name then.
At this point, isn't it kind of
Nope.
defeats the purpose? Right?
Did you hear that? He heard it. I'm Flynn.
No, sir.
No, it's fine. Don't say my last name. No.
Okay, just don't say my name. He hasn't seen me.
Kanaya,
Yes.
will you help me get this body through the portal?
Yes, I'll grab the other side.
Thank you.
All right, you drag the body onto the teleportation circle. Everyone coming through. The teleportation circle is big enough to fit everyone all at once.
Yeah.
And vroom, that feeling of your stomach sort of lifting up into your chest before you land back down onto solid ground into Hayfried's void.
Hey, Freed!
Timmy?
Again with the names.
Oh, right.
I just put a hand on Seeker's shoulder, just kind of, just a kind of resignation of like, I don't know if this is gonna work for you.
I'm looking around for Hey, Freed. I'm looking everywhere.
Alma, you look around. You do not see Hayfried.
Oh.
You see in the center platform Timmy just Timmy sitting there and not doing what he's normally doing, which is cleaning or sweeping up. You see him sitting there at this desk that's normally there in the center, and he's got his own little stack of books there, and he's sort of flipping through some of the books. And he gets up, he turns around, and as soon as he turns around, you see he's got these little spectacles on the front of his face.
Oh my gosh.
Adorable.
He turns around and sees all of you, and sort of you can tell he's just from the look on his face, he looks a little bit tired, a little bit disheveled, but he sort of wipes his eyes and hey.
I'm gonna run up to Timmy. Timmy, did you know?
Before that, you all are still floating on this platform.
Oh, are we very
around
far?
The circle. You are still on this central ring, not on the outer ring where all the cages are, but you're on this central ring. And as soon as Timmy sees you, he sort of holds up a finger. He says, "Wait, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And he stands there and he closes his eyes and he raises up his hand and he winces really hard. And you all can feel the platform beneath you begin to shake a little bit.
I'm just gripping Kodambo with both hands now, just like bracing myself to not
I'm going to
drop
have
this
everyone
very dangerous criminal.
I'm going to have everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
No.
Oh no.
Timmy.
As this platform
Somebody's
starts to
been
rock
learning
side to
magic.
side.
Is everyone within 10 feet of me?
Everyone is within 10 feet
You
of
all
you.
get +5.
Oh.
Yay!
23.
23.
Hey.
I got a natural 20, baby.
Nice.
Just
Wait,
27
Dex,
total.
right?
Shot him when you got him.
My first 2 rolls in the game, by the way.
A 1 and a
Natural
20.
Critical fail.
Critical fail on
Yep.
Shraya's part. Okay.
He's got wings. He'll be fine. Oh, wait, there's no air in here. There's no ground.
Yes.
Last time he did try flying last time.
But
The first time there was
Oh.
the spell that knocked him down. The
Right.
second time Hayfried took that away. You can now fly in. Yeah. The second time you tried flying in here, it was successful.
yay.
18.
18,
Just a 12.
12,
9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel the platform. It doesn't jolt in any way, but you can feel it just starting to sway a little bit. And Shraya, you're sort of caught off balance. But as soon as you almost trip over yourself, Kellic sort of lends you his shoulder and is able to keep you steady as the platform slowly floats in and attaches itself to the central platform.
Hang on there, Kanaya.
Whoa,
Okay.
We're gonna be
Timmy! And I run over and
Gotta
over.
keep hold of this beam.
Timmy, that was so cool. Are you learning so much here? Also, did you know it's almost a long eve? It's going to happen in like one day. I know you aren't outside very often, but like it's almost a long eve. Are you so excited?
Really? That much time has passed. Wow. Boy, I need some sleep. I didn't know that, but I'll be sure to go outside and hopefully see some of the snow. I'm new to Marstock. I don't know if it snows here, but
No, I don't know.
we'll
Might
see.
be worth catching the last sunrise before
For sure, definitely.
the eve.
Yeah, sorry for the rocky ride down. I'm just still sort of getting the hang of it.
That's so impressive, though.
Well, it's part of it. I'm learning some other cool stuff, but I don't want to do that with other people around just in case.
In case it doesn't work.
Yeah, or in case I hurt someone. I just don't really want to hurt anybody. But yeah, right now I'm trying to get the hang of the whole platform thing. It's like this psychological, I don't know. It's like it's almost like in here it's almost like it's a little bit of a help to be in here. It's almost like you think it and then this place does it. But it's a little bit of an assist, but I'm still getting the hang of it. I don't know if I could do any of this stuff outside yet.
Whoa.
Well, could you think about bringing the cages down? Because we have someone we need to lock up.
Yeah, for sure. Hayfried made one more, and I think I have something that I'm supposed to give you real quick. Give me 1 second. And he runs over to the desk and he opens a couple of the drawers, and you hear as one of the drawers opens, you hear like some glass and maybe some gold coins moving around. He opens another drawer and, you hear some paper shuffling around. He opens up another drawer and you hear this massive like wind, almost this rumble. It almost sounds like this deep roar from an impossibly large creature as he quickly closes that drawer and opens up another one. And, okay, here it is. And he pulls out a small wooden box, flips it open, and hands over a coin. One of the teleportation coins.
Oh.
Who's going to take it?
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll just reach my hand out and grab it.
Okay.
What are you reading?
They're just it's not really spell books. I've gone through a couple of spell books, but these are more just like honing technique books. These are more like, you got the basics and you kind of know the steps, but these are kind of, if you're having a bit of a hard time, then you can consult these, and it gives you a little like tips and tricks on depending on your style and what you want to do. It's more just refining what you can already do. Huh. Hayfried thinks it's important to have a solid foundation when you do these things and not really going in willy-nilly. So
Right. Well, you get to thinking, and I'm going to get to reading, and I'm going to sit down at the books while he brings a platform over, and I want to look over them.
It takes him a little bit longer than it would take Hayfried, but eventually the new cage comes over.
Is this the new cage or the cage that previously held
Nessa?
Yeah.
Which coin do we have? Does the coin we have go to Nessa's cage, or does the coin we have go to the new cage?
The coin that you have goes to the new cage, and the one that Timmy pulls over seems to be the one that Nessa had broken out of, but just from the size of it, it looks to be about the same size. The new one looks a little bit bigger, but it does look fully repaired. It doesn't look like there's any damage to it. It looks like everything has been fully repaired.
Are all the cages on one platform? Are you saying they're separate? So
they're completely separate.
Okay.
So there's this ring a couple 100 feet out, where you look what would in here possibly be to the north of you, and you see one cage floating on its own platform. You see one to sort of the northeast, northwest, south, in all the directions, but they are separate floating.
Okay.
I'm gonna, while Timmy is doing this, I'm just gonna whisper into his ear, "Hey Timmy, do you think it's weird that we broke you out of prison and now you're basically a warden of a prison?"
Oh, I think about that nearly constantly.
Is it weird?
It is real weird. And I think about the ethics of it. And I'm like, is this the business that I want to be in? But, I'm just trying to keep myself busy.
I mean, maybe we won't keep them in prison forever.
I really hope not, because this is kind of weighing on me.
It's kind of weird, but I think for right now they have to stay here until we know what to do with them.
I mean, you all seem like pretty good people. I don't know you two, as he points to Tesla and Secret, but the rest of you seem like good people. So I trust that these are the bad guys that we're putting away.
Well, the one with the hole in its chest, yes. And
are
the
we
other
not
one,
sure about the rest of them?
Oh no! The one with the really big arm is also really bad. And
I mean, I can understand the demons and the dragon that you put in here and the objective horrors of creatures.
yeah,
Well, the dragon's not us. That was.
that was the old
Yeah,
dragon.
but
That's before
you
us.
understand. I can get the idea, but that just seems like a guy. As he points to Kodamvo that you're putting in
Well,
the cage.
His face moves. Are
not-
you looking at his face?
He seems like a lot of guys, at
mean-
the very least.
Okay. Like I said, I'll trust you.
I do. Your point is taken. What are the conditions like for the people in these cages? Is it? What's their experience like day to day? Do they just float in this abyss?
Yeah, well, as you all have been told, you don't really need to eat or sleep in here. But Hayfried has kind of talked to me, and I convinced him to allow them to, just to give them sort of the comfort of
Some kind
day-to-day experience. So
That's really nice of you to think of.
yeah. So we make sure that they have sort of meals, and they're allowed to sleep. So their body continues functioning sort of on a day-to-day schedule, and it's not, they're allowed to sleep and eat. And but Hayfried wasn't very comfortable with. They started talking to each other, and he wasn't very comfortable with that. So we sort of put some barriers up, so they can still see and everything. It's not like a completely dark cage, but yeah, we didn't feel comfortable with them speaking to each other.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because a lot of them are part of a really bad organization,
Not for
so
nothing.
we don't really want them to talk.
Most of them are potentially part of the most dangerous organization in the world, and are responsible for the loss of a lot of lives. A lot of damage has been done by these people, and this one here is no exception. These are evil people. But I do think and I sort of turn to the rest of the group. Oh, we will have to reconcile what happens from here on with them at some point. Obviously, we have greater problems to solve, but this can't go on forever.
I have been kind of working on a little something. Hayfried taught me this spell, and I can do it pretty well, but on my own, I've been kind of working to change it a little bit. I mean, I can show you. I'll try it here for a second, and this is sort of because I think they should have someone that they can talk to. So, give me 1 second. And he starts to like grab a little component out of his pouch. It looks like almost like oregano leaves. This little like dried powdered leaves. And he starts moving them around his hands, and he starts speaking an incantation. I am going to have Flynn, Seeker, and that's it. I'm going to have you both make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Oh, no.
The natty 1 for 3.
Okay.
I got a 18.
18. Okay. Seeker, you don't quite recognize what he's been doing.
I'm basically just incensed with this whole conversation. I don't understand what we're talking about right now.
Exactly. But Flynn, as someone who has been sort of studying a little bit more rigorously lately, you see that he is casting the spell Unseen Servant. As he finishes casting this spell, obviously it is an unseen servant, so it's something that is unseen. But then he continues the spell, and you begin to see where he cast the unseen servant. You begin to see sort of a shimmer, this light, almost liquid of transparency and non-transparency moving throughout this figure standing there. Looks very humanoid as Timmy concentrates really hard. And then he lets go, and the figure dissipates. So I don't know.
That's supposed to happen?
Well, yeah. It's you cast it, and then there's a guy that's supposed to be there, but normally you can't see him. So I'm trying to figure out a way so you can see him and you can talk to him.
You can do
just
that?
to have someone have a conversation with.
You can change spells?
Yeah, you can adapt them. Did you not know that?
No. I thought you had to do it in what's in the book.
I mean, yeah, you have to do exactly what's in the book, but then beyond that, there's a little bit of room for creativity.
Huh. Cool. And I'll go back to reading the books. I want to actually look through them.
Okay.
And while they're bringing the cage down, while they were talking, I wanted to look through and see if I can find anything that maybe I would like to ask to take.
Yeah, make an investigation check for me. What is everyone else doing as he's doing?
I when Kalik looks over and mentions that we have to figure out what we're going to do, I make a really big show of crossing my arms. And then I look over at Timmy and say, "Hi, yeah, I'm Sharon." And
oh, that's right.
We brought
That's what I've been talking about.
Yes, I am in Sharon form. Currently for our little
Hi, I don't think we've met. And he reaches his hand out.
And I reach my hand out, and you feel a massive Seeker hand with you would feel the ring on it. Timmy would feel the ring on it. And to say, yeah, so this guy, not very good, and we probably should figure out, and I'm looking around at the group, should probably figure out what we want to do. Do we want to talk to him? Do we want to, we've got the other issue that's in Kanaya's home to deal with.
Right.
All this is really, really, really interesting, but I think maybe that's important.
Oh, yeah.
But
We gotta go.
Yes, I think we do have a unique opportunity here. While we have this one, maybe we could find some ways and means that he, I think, and people operate in the world.
Kanaya, and I tug his feather to pull him down to my level. Tito is back at your house, and they're gonna use him to open the portal, and it might hurt him. That's what I heard them talking about. So, we should really go right now. We should really go. We should really go, and maybe we can deal with all this when we get back.
Yes, I know that's probably what we should do. I've done more thinking about it. My people they've put themselves in this predicament. And the last time I saw them, they sent me away. I now think, what do I owe them? Other than the fact that they could very well bring destruction to the world by their actions. I suppose, yes, we should go. And therein lies our own choices about what we do when we get there.
But they might hurt Tito.
Yes. Tito is an innocent for sure. And now that I've seen him and been with him, and he's joined us on some of our adventures, I do feel called to him.
He's just so troubled, you know? After being in the prison and then leaving, I mean, he's just so alone.
He's seen things in this world that no one of my kind should ever have to see or experience. I do think we're missing a crucial opportunity. This is a leader of one of the Order of, as Kellic said, one of the most dangerous organizations in the world. Now I realize that if we allow him to communicate, he very well could do things that could allow him to escape. So another part of me thinks taking him out of the world by himself is also safe for the rest of the world, since he cannot communicate. I'm at a loss myself.
Hey, you, mister! You have a little thing on your neck.
Is he still gagged?
Are you guys?
Yeah, we've now set him on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Would we have put him in the cage because we brought it down?
It's still being brought down.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't
Still a process.
heard that it's here yet.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
Right as the cage connects itself to the central platform, and as you say that, I assume you all are loading him into the
Yes,
cage.
yeah.
Yes, please.
Whoever.
Y'all help.
At this point,
I'm
is he-
kneeling next to him, kind of as we were setting him down.
Okay.
And looking back, because I'm assuming I can't quite hear Olma, but I can hear what Shraya is saying, and I'm just kind of absorbing that information.
All right. As you are sort of loading him into the cage, Kellic, he looks to you, and you can see the changing mouths sort of say, "Would you mind?" As he sort of looks down towards his hands that are bound.
I would mind. I'm no scholar of the mystic arts, but I understand that we're in a boiling pot of arcane fervor in this place, and I cannot allow you to have anywhere near the amount of freedom that even the others possess.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Let me see if I can reach. As you can see, his hand sort of moves up his forearm into his sleeve, and he does something where all of a sudden his face begins to slow and stop shifting. And you see his face finally settle into one form.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You can see a very pronounced jawline. Clean shaven. You can see human ears rounded coming up to the back. And this short, sort of dirty blonde hair, Olma, you recognize from what you saw from behind. Short hair combed very neatly to the side with this side part that is just perfect down to the hair. And as the eyes begin to settle in and the nose begins to settle in, you see his right eye sort of drooping just a little bit lower, sort of the bottom eyelid drooping down, as you can see a scar that moves through his eye, down sort of across his right nostril and onto the top of his upper lip. And you can see almost the right side of his face very heavily scarred. And Kellic, from what you know of treating wounds in battle, this was probably a very traumatic injury to most of the side of his face that is now pretty well healed, but still the scars are not able to be covered up. But as the face comes back down, you see in the other eye a very gentle light blue. As he looks to you and in a normal voice without any modulation or frequency changing. Oh, that's better. Starts to feel uncomfortable after a while if you you continue doing it.
Can I want to like snatch his arm and like look at what he touched.
You immediately pull it back, and you can see a series of, underneath his long coat, you can see a series of tattoos beginning to go up his arm. Not similar to Flynn's at all. Almost, whereas Flynn's are
like
colorful and very scriptish and very precise. This one is a little bit thicker and bolder black, and all of it is black. You pull it back and you just see some tattoos.
And I don't recognize them, I'm assuming, in any...
Make an Arcana check for me.
While this is happening, I want to kind of step up and study the face and hair and like that image. Sear it into my mind.
Okay.
That's 11 on the Arcana.
11 on the Arcana. As you pull the sleeve up more and more, it seems to be like different lines of tattoos. Not really. It's almost more of a design than what Flynn has. Flynn's seems very like practical and purposeful. This one almost seems more artistic and of a design. Almost maybe drow.
Interesting.
In look. Just from what you've seen and what you've experienced and in your life. But you can't, with an 11, you can't really tell exactly purpose or any of that.
I'm just looking from this to him. The Mind Flayers under Saddle Mount. Is that you? Is that you're doing?
No, not me. My people, maybe, but not me directly, no.
Then what's the connection? Why do you use their technology in your facility, in your lighthouse?
Because it's useful. If you were to come across a technology of that sort, of that power and magnitude, and something that can change the world like that, what purpose is it not to use it?
And how do you bend a Mind Flayer to be your servant?
Make a insight check as he answers this for me.
Change your
16.
dice.
16.
That's not bad.
Don't need to.
Yeah.
I'm too good.
You look at him and he's trying very hard to suppress it, but just a hint of confusion as he looks at you. It's easy. I mean, they're docile creatures. It's very easy to control a Mind Flayer. Ask it to do what you want, and it will basically do your bidding. No questions asked. That's why we use them. Very loyal, very docile, but can pack a punch.
Docile.
Yes.
One of them stole my memories and impersonated me. Presumably to endanger all these people here. Docile?
Yes. I would say bordering on mindless. But you asked about my neck. Now, this is the interesting part. This is the part that I think you're all going to really enjoy. This thing on my neck is the reason that you're all going to let me out of here. And as he looks across you and sort of looks to this vast void without any hint of terror or anything, he looks to all of you, says, "You're going to let me out of here, and you," points to Flynn.
Huh?
Says, "You're going to be the one to do it."
What?
He certainly will not.
Yeah, I'm not. You're staying here.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, for now. I'm confused.
I would say, leave me here, come back, but make sure it's longer, not longer than a week. I'd say come back before a week and you'll be letting me out of this cage. But for now, you can leave me in here because that is exactly what this mark does, as he points to the brand on his neck. And he says, this connects me to, gosh, at this point, who knows how many people. And the real fun part about this
Oh, no.
is that when the drow bestowed this upon me, it means that anything that happens to me, any injury, any disease, anything that happens to me happens to, gosh, I don't know how many people. And here's the real kicker. If I'm not back in Stillgate by next week, all of those people are just gonna drop dead.
What?
What?
Your the thing on your neck, whatever that is, it automatically kills people?
Every 2 weeks, I have a standing appointment with a drow that comes up from the Coalition underground, and they sort of re-up the spell. And if I don't make my meeting there, bad things are gonna happen.
You can't possibly... You can't possibly have that ability. No, that's incredibly powerful magic. I simply don't believe you.
Okay. I don't care.
Can anyone verify this? You could just be saying whatever you want to leave. We have no way of verifying what you're saying is true.
No, keep me here. I'm fine with it.
Can we get a team huddle? Can we lock that up and all come talk for a minute?
I'm just glowering at this guy from where I'm kneeled next to him. I'm just staring at him. I haven't moved my eyes from him.
I know that.
Do I believe him? Yeah.
Make an insight check for me.
I was wondering, after hearing all this happening, could I have just kind of sat down and then seen the tattoo and thinking about it and thinking about my tattoos? Could I potentially go, I don't know if there's anything in my book that talks about how my tattoos are inscribed on skin. Could I look in my book at all and see if there's any way to alter them or change them or deactivate them or dispel them?
Just on a very surface level, I see where you're going with this. Yeah. On a very surface level, you know that yours are... It seems to be two different things. A brand that is branded onto the skin, and you don't know what beyond that, versus a mixture of materials and components tattooed into you, probably have some different elements. What was that insight check?
11.
11? Seems shifty. You can't really get a read on him.
Luckily, we don't need you to be somewhere for you to be somewhere. So you can stay here for as long as we want you to stay here, and we'll deal with you later.
Bye. And then, come here, everybody. Let's talk.
Can you stop talking like that? It's so weird. I just want to look at your face.
No, I don't want to be seen.
I don't.
That's fair.
He's in his little cage now. Timmy, can you do the thingy where they can't really tell anything that's happening out here?
Hold on.
I don't know how to do that. I can move it.
Prove it. Who are these people you've tied yourself to?
Oh my god, that's my favorite part. I don't know.
You don't know?
Then how are you tied to them?
Well, when I got this, kind of great. So I was brought into this room, and when it was the initial ceremony, and there were a couple of drow, and they seemed to be sort of these high priestesses, and they had 5 people there in front of me, and so they put this thing on me, very painful, hurt like a bitch. But when they finished it, just as sort of like a test, they also sort of connected me to these 5 people, and they gave me a little cut on my hand, and I could see as they drew the knife across my hand, the same cut was being drawn across their hands. And, well, it works.
We don't have to believe them for it to be true. We know magic is powerful, and it's
5 people. But now you're saying you don't know
more
how
than
many
that.
more? Why?
Well, I have this contract with the drow that every time I get my my little brand re-upped, and I have my meeting with them, more people are added to the list. As some people, die from natural causes, and there were a couple who went off to fight in the war, and they die. I sort of get topped off, you could say. But back to what you were saying, and he points to Seeker. That's my favorite part, is you don't have to believe me. You don't have to. Because I know exactly what type of people you are. I've come across people exactly like you. And I know the types of people you are. So please don't believe me. That could be the best possible thing for me.
Or we could just let all those people die and then kill you.
Yeah, you could. You're not going to, though.
I don't know, you're hurting a whole lot of people, maybe more than are already connected to you.
Yeah, but I don't know that, and you don't know that, do we?
No, but I don't know these people. I only know you, and I don't want you to be here anymore.
Fair enough.
Can we let this be tomorrow's problem and deal with the other part first?
6 days.
It seems we have.
If it's tomorrow's problem, then it will be 6 days.
It seems we have a timeline for this, so I think we should all talk about.
I have ideas for that, but it would require us to, do other things first.
You see my stance kind of shift, and I look over to the group, and then I look back at Codon Vo. I think it's in everyone's best interest that we release this being as soon as possible. But before we do...
Ooh, I like him. He's my favorite.
Yes, you do, don't you? And as I lean closer into him, and I brush my hand across the top of my staff, as I say, those who've helped me feel at one and home in the earth, let this being feel at home too. As I'm going to cast Summon Fae with the Mirthful condition, which will cause this dude to need to make a saving throw or else be charmed by my new friend.
Okay.
Hey.
What saving throw is that?
That is it's wisdom, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's super fucking, he's stacked with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably got a little bit.
I mean, maybe he'll roll low, I don't know.
You could roll low.
Yeah, okay. That was 26.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know that yet.
Yes.
So, you start to see the crystal face move on the top of the staff as the Fae isn't fully in this world, but it's not fully away from this world. It's kind of operating in the face formation at the top. As the Fae voice emerges and says, "How can we help you? How can we align with your purposes? Where can we find more people who share your mission?"
Oh, God. Oh, my mind. It's... Come on! Come on, you could do better than that!
Yes,
Come
I suppose.
on! I am so
I suppose we must.
disappointed.
As I really quickly, the comfort and glow that was formerly dancing around Vo immediately vanishes as I immediately pull back the Fae and look deeply into his eye. Do we know what?
It's
he.
It's a he. Okay. Look into his eyes and say, "Before this conclusion, you best cling to the powers you have right now, for they may be fleeting." And then I take a step back.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. Okay, well, I'm just gonna kick back. You all have fun.
Yeah,
See you
don't
when
do
I
that.
see you.
I'm gonna shove a cloth in his mouth. You kick back. You have a relaxing time here, Kodambo. I'm sure all the people that you've affected will have trouble speaking as well, but I think they'll make it as they walk around freely in their lives. And you sit here, observe the endless abyss before you, and consider the afterlife you face when you've made this contract of darkness. And I will get up, and I will close the gate behind me, and I will return to the group.
All right, and as Timmy floats his platform out to the outer rings, Flynn, you just take one last glance as he makes eye contact with you and winks.
Shake it off, and then just kind of sit back down and try and focus on the books that I was reading.
Timmy?
Yeah? I don't like that guy.
None of us like him, Timmy. He's the fucking worst.
These are the kinds of people we're bringing to this prison. So I think I don't know where else to put them, you know?
Yeah, I'm not making him any food.
How?
Don't. And, we're probably gonna leave here. It seems like we should probably do it quickly. But...
Look over to the teleportation circle. Xavier pops in. Hey, everyone.
Oh,
Your timing couldn't have been better.
hello.
Xavier!
Maybe he has an idea of how to fix this.
Timmy, if we're not back in 6 days, probably should release him.
Don't release him.
We should talk about that.
How far away is he right now? Like, can he actually see us?
As Xavier or
Codambo.
No, as Codambo is sort of going out into the ether, he's probably 300 feet away.
Right.
It would be very difficult for him to hear. As Timmy, talking to Kellic, begins raising his hand, still engaging in conversation with you, but begins pulling Xavier's platform down.
Kellic, I know we're trying to repair the world, but how much repair is it when you let somebody who murders hundreds of thousands of people out? Sometimes, in war, you have to sacrifice people.
Oma, what do you know about war?
I don't know anything about war, but I know that sometimes you have to sacrifice people for the greater good.
You don't know if the people who would be sacrificed would be entire populations. We have no semblance of how many people are connected to this magic.
There's also... Maybe we let him free, but we find a way to handicap him somehow.
But look what he did to
Or-
Thessaly.
Track him.
Remember all of those
Right.
records we found? How many people had X's over their faces?
I still want to talk to him before we even consider letting him go anywhere, do anything, or even... But beyond that, why do you all so readily believe that he could easily end hundreds, thousands of lives?
Well, this is Codamvo, who we understand to be a leader of Stillgate's technological development, right?
Right.
So he's a person of high status.
Sure.
So he has access to technology that we do not, right? So the premise itself, I believe. Now, I also can read the language that his brand is written in.
Oh.
And it does what he suggests. It connects people's lifelines. It connects their tethers.
Also, we've seen it happen before.
And I turn the ring on my finger
We saw it happen.
and shift back and say, and magic.
Right. Magic has limits, though, Seeker.
And systems.
Oh, does it?
M-
Have you seen the limits of all of the magics in all of the world?
I don't know a lot, but I watched a lot of magic growing up, and I just feel like there were limits to it. It's not perfect, and it's not all-encompassing.
Xavier sort of walks over to Olma, puts his hand on your back, and
I throw my arms around his waist.
as you all are still sort of in conversation, he gives you sort of a hug, and he sort of leans down and whispers in your ear, "I feel like I've stepped in on a larger conversation. Tell your friends the teleportation circle that you guys wanted, the one in Autumn Hollow. It's open for you guys, ready to go. I'm just gonna step out and talk to Hayfried for a little bit, but you kids have fun."
You're gonna go already?
Yeah, it looks like you guys have a lot of stuff on your plate.
Xavier. And I sort of like open up this like confrontational circle that we have too. Are you familiar with a brand that the Drow used to connect people's lifeline? Cause harm to come to any to people who have also been branded?
Drow magic, kind of elusive to me. It's like learning a new language. If the language is changing as you're learning it, that's kind of how it feels to me in learning their magic. It's just tough and sort of foreign to me. But I do know that branding magic, and I've only seen it once or twice, always seems to go a little deeper, almost though it's not branding the skin, it's branding the soul. It's tough, it's tricky, and something that me and all my years of study have never really locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Magic.
Could I look up in my
Right.
books that I'm looking at? I have a question, I guess. So if someone gets hurt from hurting Codamvo, what if someone casts a spell on Codamvo? Would that spell then be duplicated on the other people?
I would imagine, perhaps, I don't know the limits of this spell, but it sounds, from what I hear, it sounds like a brand on this guy, and if someone hurts him, I can't tell you, but perhaps not the entire spell effect, just the damages. If I were to, say, throw a fireball at him, perhaps the fireball effect would not be duplicated onto other people, but the burning and singeing of the skin, that effect may be transferred.
For example, I just gagged him, right? Would that kind of thing manifest in the victims of this?
Whole populations without the
I
ability
would
to speak?
assume something like that. Perhaps not, because then anytime he would eat a salad, other people would feel like they're eating a salad, and I would assume that would be a little
Right.
useless.
So it's
as far as that
particular
sort of spell
to-
goes.
to harm itself.
Maybe.
Pain.
Is there somewhere we can find more information about this?
The
We have
drow.
6 days. But we have some other place. I don't know.
I would agree the best place to learn drow magic is with the drow. If you have any connections, those might be worth exploring.
Well,
And we know a
maybe,
couple.
maybe in 6 days, we go to meet who he's going to meet.
Let's
That
take
would be,
look like a
That would be my idea.
one
Yes.
of his faces.
We arrive as his disciples, perhaps.
You want to infiltrate the top tier of the Red Wolf or whatever this is and pretend to be Kodam Vo?
It's
Yes.
worse than that. It's the top tier of the Red Wolf, but also of Stillgate. We have just kidnapped and imprisoned a powerful political figure outside of the cult. We are enemies of Stillgate by this action.
Who do you have in that cage?
Have you ever heard of Kodam Vo?
Yeah.
That's who we've got in there. We've seen his real face.
Fuck. Okay.
Does he go by the same name when he's in the world at large, or is this just an alias?
Yeah, sort of the head scientist of Stillgate.
Oh,
He's a murderer.
That's news to me. I mean, I guess, yes, by sort of the Kodam Vo is the head of the scientific explorative side of Stillgate, and that is where most of the lately weapons of war and technological weapons of war have come from. So yes, I would assume indirectly his inventions have killed many people.
No, but also directly.
There's a lighthouse in Saddlemount where he has been conducting some kind of experiments on people.
Have you told anyone?
You?
It's been a busy couple of days.
It doesn't seem like there are a lot of people we could tell, to be quite honest with you.
who would even believe us?
I mean, are you going back there right now to...
No, we were
No.
thinking of Flynn. Weren't we going to reach out to your
Huh?
people?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not me
Yes.
that reaches out though. And I'll look to Kelly.
All right.
I mean, if you have the ability.
I'm gonna
I can talk to people.
Oh.
Timmy pipes up.
You can talk to people.
I did.
What else can you
Fellow
do?
Eve.
Oh, you're right.
settle down, fellow.
You know this. I did this to you on your...
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
You've
Yep,
got
yep.
the,
Oh,
the
yeah, the
shield
shield.
face.
Yeah, well, it's not a shield for me. It's the mirror face
Oh yes,
for me.
I was in the mirror
Well-
and your shield.
That's how we know
Right.
it.
Well, but we were going to talk to your people about the like cave full of monsters.
Yeah,
Underneath the
whole
lighthouse.
thing. We're gonna tell them to go check it out, right, and make sure everything's squashed.
I retrieve the documentation, the like lab report that they had, and I'll hand it to Xavier just to give him an understanding of what we found. It looks as if most of these people are dead as a result of these experiments. This weird mousetrap.
You can see his hand starting to... you don't see his hand shake, but you can see just on the corners of the paper that he's holding begin to shake as he is staring at the paper. And he goes into his bag and he reaches down into his bag and he pulls out another couple of papers.
Oh.
What?
And he shows them to you, and you can see in a very similar sort of observatory way a breakdown of Zeta.
What?
We've been at Mornstead. I don't know if you've all been to Mornstead, but we've got we've got a sort of a setup there, and we've been helping her understand her powers. I put a team together, and my assistant's been doing all the notes. He says, he might still be a part of the Strata Priana.
So,
Your assistant?
is Zeta being put through some kind of...
No, she is completely safe, which is why I kind of want to get back to her right now. I'd love to go back right now if in whatever time possible.
You're
she
not
is completely
exposing her
safe.
to some kind of vapor that makes her see her greatest fears?
No.
Things of that nature?
Not at all.
You're certain?
100%.
Perhaps
She is being treated as fairly as possible. I will give you in a somewhat confined environment until we can figure out the extent of what she has going on and all of her stuff, but a safe environment, I guarantee you.
Why? Why do you need to know what she's capable of?
So we can keep her safe. This is what you asked me to do.
We asked you to look after her, not to subject her
Which is what
to
I'm doing. If I know
tests.
what she's capable of, then I can help her subdue whatever she has going on so that she doesn't hurt herself or other people.
the same technology but with different intentions. Perhaps the technology itself is neutral, and the wielder is the one who decides how to use it.
Well, that's all well and good, Shraya, but the Strata Priana... Well, the tests we saw resulted in these people's deaths. These people who have the same kinds of papers as Zeta.
I wouldn't even say that we've been running tests like you've been describing. We've been experimenting on the extent of her connection. Sometimes she has these terrible dreams that we take note. Look right here as he flips through some of the papers, and you can see on one of the papers sort of like almost a journaling or like a diary describing nightmares and bad dreams. But it's very surface level, nothing invasive whatsoever.
Thessaly, tell them what happened to you.
All right. You're not taking any blood from her, and you're making sure that she agrees to everything that you're doing?
I will give you one time she accidentally cast a spell and all of a sudden these ethereal blades started popping out of everywhere. Yes, she did get injured then, but it was quickly remedied and we took a break for a couple of days. We calmed everything down and then we started up again as soon as she felt comfortable. We're going at her pace. She is comfortable. And I promise you that, I mean, look, I have spells that I can cast on myself that will only make me speak the truth. And I'm more than happy to cast one of those right now if you feel that is necessary. But I promise you, this is only for her good.
Can you speak to what the Strata Priana might want in an ulterior capacity? As far as finding individuals like this, it seems like this study was done to search for someone capable of beating the test.
I'm telling you, I have no connection to any I hired my assistant because he had a good list of references. He worked for the Strata Priana. I assume he's a very knowledgeable person when it comes to learning and all these academic things that I was gonna do with her, and I needed some assistance. I didn't know that was gonna be a mark against him.
Who is your assistant?
Nasir Wyron.
While he's speaking and like being defensive in circles, I'm gonna pull Flynn to the side and I'm gonna say, Flynn,
What?
I know we need to get a move on this teleportation to the other side of the world, but before we do, is there anyone at the Iron Light that you trust more than Melaru? I'm so sick of the heads of these organizations turning out to be corrupted. This needs to be known, but perhaps not by the head of yours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really know who to trust in there right now other than my classmates.
Well, which is the smartest of your classmates?
Galen, for sure.
Do you think I turn to the group. Before we leave, someone needs to know. The world at large, more of the world needs to know that this is happening.
Absolutely, and then we should go.
Yes.
This is a fascinating conversation, but not for now. We need to go. We were talking about a portal
that is about to be opened in his hometown.
We have time.
Also, there's no shortage of urgent matters. I agree with you, Seeker, but this is
It's true.
a lot to absorb.
I would love to come with you all, but knowing what I now know, I'd like to get back to Zeta.
I think that's advisable.
Seeing this, I'm going to try and find a quiet way to fire my assistant,
No.
raising any red
Does he
flags.
still work for the Strata Periana, or maybe?
When he came to me, he was retired for, I'd say, 3 years, I think.
Well, maybe he knows something. Maybe
He
you
may.
can ask some questions.
Do you want me to keep him around or not? Because
You could maybe, ask him stuff.
But not if he's hurting Zeta, obviously.
most definitely, everything that we've done so far, he seems on the same level as me as far as going at her pace and making her feel as comfortable as possible.
Maybe
The Strata-
subject him to some of your truth magic and get to the bottom of
This-
what his connection is with them.
We know for a fact that Kodamvo and the Strata Periana are part of the cult of the Red Wolf, the Order.
Kodamvo, at least, but
Well-
Strata Periana by way of Kodamvo.
Yeah.
We don't know
Well,
how deeply connected it is.
well, in the meeting they said Kodamvo and of the Strata Periana, so
Maybe watching, if you can. Sometimes keeping enemy close is better than casting them away.
Okay. Then I'll just keep doing what we're doing, and I'll just keep an extra close eye on everything that he's doing.
Xavier, right?
Yes.
And how tall is Xavier?
Xavier is, he would be taller if he didn't have just a little bit of sort of like a slouch, but it's sort of like an old man slouch. Probably at this point around 5'11", 5'10", maybe.
We're about the same height.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get really close to him, like step really, really close, like uncomfortably close.
Oh, you're close.
Hi.
Hi.
If I find out that you've hurt this person that we've all been talking about, you're going to regret it. Goodbye.
Okay. Listen, I understand. I think Olma can probably vouch for me.
Mm-hmm.
Her safety is I mean, at this point, just like Olma, your safety is above my own. And I will, Olma, as you said, I will borderline traumatize you to leave you and keep you safe. That is,
That doesn't comfort me.
I know.
Definitely,
I know.
Xavier's one of the
And
good
I realize
guys.
the error of my ways now, but I put her safety now above my own, and I want you to know that is where my priority is, and that I'm going to do everything and am doing everything to defend her, which is why now seeing this, I would like to get back to her as soon as possible.
Oh, then go.
If you will allow me.
Then go.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Xavier's one of the
Yes.
good guys.
Really quick, Xavier.
Yeah.
Know anything about mind flayers?
Terrifying. Stay away. As he's sort of like
Too late.
backing out.
I don't understand.
They have geez, gosh, I haven't seen one in years.
Are they pliable? Do they have a
Terrifying when cornered, but for the most part, pretty, I don't know, lazy.
Lazy.
We were just in a layer of the mind flayer variety, and there was a recess where it appeared a giant brain, what I have known to be what a humanoid's brain looks like, in the center of their sort of, I don't know, hive, cave. Would that speak to why they're docile? Why they're seen as something that can be manipulated?
I don't know. I haven't come across any big brains, like you said. I'm sorry, I'm not.
It's all right.
I've come across a few, but yeah, almost like in a trance for the most part, unless for what I assume they get hungry, and they sometimes will attack, but beyond that,
Okay.
I mean, I'd almost liken them to if something with the mind of an insect was in a humanoid form and could wear clothes.
Do you know what happens to people who have their little bugs put in their brains?
What do you mean?
Well, we found a bunch of tubes, and there were these larva-like creatures, the tubes with people in them who were being lobotomized, and then there were these creepy crawlies crawling around their brains.
I've heard of some fungus being able to do that, being able to sort of attach itself to a deceased person's brain and almost operate it like a puppet. But I am racking my brain to think of anything that I've seen recently that can do that from a, I don't know, from what you say, like a bug standpoint, from an insect.
What you're describing, it doesn't add up. The place we were in, it was technology like I've never seen. It was like a world outside of our own. But insects don't build that.
I mean, I'm sorry, but from what I've seen, like I said, almost wandering, wide-eyed, no purpose of their own.
So they could be easily manipulated?
That's what Code on Board said.
Perhaps, if they even have the capability of being manipulated.
Well, thank you, Xavier.
I'm really sorry, I can't be more help. If you want, I can try and research, try and find something for you.
That would be grand.
But I do know mind flayers are very exceedingly rare.
I don't know how connected you are within circles of, well-intended mages. I don't even say that with any confidence, to be honest with you.
I still have some connections from my school days.
We found a hive of mind flayers beneath the city of Saddlemount that had abducted. I don't know if the mind flayers did this or something else, but there were people from Saddlemount that had been abducted. They did not remember anything, and they had been brought to these tubes and subjected to these atrocities, cutting their heads open and put in these things. And I pull out from my satchel. I still have the preserved cut tadpole from the hook horror. I think it's good for like 10 days though.
Yeah, you got some time.
I pull it out and hand it to him. We found this in the. It was controlling a hook horror. So
interesting.
I don't know, but this kind of information, it can't be neglected. By I consider you and Hayfried some of the smartest people probably in the world.
Well, some of the people who I know would make you believe differently. I can see who I can get onto this. If you don't mind, would I be able to take?
Yeah, I'd be happy to have it go to use of some kind.
Okay. I'll do what I can, and keep your minds open. I'll try and get back in touch.
Our minds, but not our skulls.
Yes,
Xavier.
There you go.
Does he still have the documents?
Yes, he does.
Oh, I'll be needing those back. They're a little bit personal.
Oh, these are yours. Here you go.
Yes,
and
they are.
I'm gonna keep these. He's holding onto the ones that are his.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep these and do what I can without hopefully alerting anyone.
Have you learned anything about Zeta?
Yeah. So we learned quite. How much time do you have?
Not a
No,
lot.
not
Okay.
We need to go.
When you guys are sort of in a safe spot, when you guys have a couple minutes, just I don't know how do any of you guys have any way of getting in contact with me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I can
Okay.
reach out. As you know.
Let me know, and just let me know. I'll open up an easier line of communication. Just let me know when you're available, and we can do a little debrief of Zeta.
It feels like we're never available.
That's very true.
I'll turn to Seeker. Do you have those papers or something that you give people, or what was it?
yes.
Would that help too?
I'll reach my hand to the top of my satchel, pull out my scroll, open the cap, and produce a vial of ink, and hand it to Xavier.
This I like you. This is some old magic. This is
very
great.
rare that someone knows. I don't have to explain. It's hard to explain.
This is some like real, like it's old, but it's the good stuff. Like this stuff is never gonna not work. Like every once in a while you get like the mind link stuff. You kind of lose your connection or whatever. But this is the tried and true stuff. I like you.
I like you. I like that you know what this is.
All right, I will take this.
Get in touch. Yeah.
And also, if you're doing some research on mind flayers, could you also look into the brands? See if you find anything about how to turn them off?
Brands too. Yes, I will.
We have 6 days apparently, and then I'm gonna let them out. Whatever.
No, you're not.
No, we have other ways. Look, we have a long trip. We can talk about it along the way.
I
Yeah.
also didn't think I was gonna get possessed by a demon, but things happen.
Yeah, we have to roll with the punches.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get to a solution before I get possessed again or whatever. I don't know.
Terrifying stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go say a couple of things to Hayfried, and then I will be on my way. Okay.
Where is
here?
Oh, is he? Yes.
Timmy, where's Hayfried? Hayfried's he's just right outside, but I think he's sleeping.
We'll wake him up.
Oh,
Might be outside.
Flynn.
We have a lot of things that we need to figure out right now,
Flynn,
and he probably has some answers.
I tried that, and he's not a big fan of me waking him up. So, you guys, if you're all
I'll
ready,
wake him up.
Xavier.
I don't think we need him right now.
Yes.
I don't know if we need him right now.
Or I
Let
guess Timmy,
Hayfried
just
sleep.
tell him to do some research on the brands or see if he's got
I've got
any.
all of everything that we've just been saying is right up here, and he sort of taps his head, and I will let him know.
Please do.
Xavier, where's the location of the teleportation circle you just opened?
Autumn Hollow. You guys asked for Autumn Hollow. Gotcha.
We
Autumn Hollow.
did.
Yes.
We did.
Good.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Pulls down the teleportation circle.
Before we go, Calla, can you send a message over to
Galen.
Flynn's people
Should
and tell them about the cave?
About the mind flayers.
Should we have Timmy do it since he can do the mirror?
That's probably
Timmy-
make sure it goes
Timmy
through,
doesn't know. Timmy, she also doesn't know Timmy, so it should be coming from us.
Well, should we
I
send
mean,
her?
if you guys know her, then I can set you up with the mirror, and it doesn't
using the mirror.
it doesn't make you guys like tired at all. It's just kind of the mirror's doing
That'd
the
be
brunt of the work.
grand.
I can set you guys up with the mirror if you want.
Magic.
The
Yeah,
mirror is
very
kind of
little.
easy.
Yeah, then I can
As
just
it is.
tell her myself, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
You to do it. I'll just do it then.
Then it just is something that occurred to me. Isn't Kaylin kind of busy pursuing this
Yeah.
threat of Nessa?
Yeah, but she'll be able to pass the
message
word on
along
to
to
maybe
reliable
Zorkal
people?
or wherever Evelyn is or Pierre or anything. Maybe they can help.
Maybe so.
So
Certainly, we can't leave it to the elements. It's
I'll let her know that she doesn't necessarily have to do it directly, but maybe pass it on to someone that she trusts in the collective to take care of it. Should I send it to Zorkal instead, since he's kind of in the collective still? The last time we spoke, I think Kaylin's not really part of it.
She's not on speaking terms with a lot of those
Right.
folks. I mean, because it might be a big team needed.
Yeah,
so
maybe we just send it straight to Zorkal.
Zorkal.
Yeah, fine.
All right,
Send
Timmy.
it to Zorkal.
Can you
How do I work
set
this
Flynn
thing?
here up?
Yeah, okay. As he walks over to this platform that looks just piled with different like shelves that are empty or like filled with different stuff that isn't books and all of these different things. And he goes to the very back, and there's this little table that's got wheels on the bottom, and he rolls out the table onto the main platform, and it's got this big, this grand round mirror on it. And it's got this, on the mirror itself sort of has a frame, this silver frame around it. And sort of at the bottom, there are these two dragons that almost their tails meet in the center, and then they sort of curve up along the under edges of the mirror. Nice. And he goes over and he sort of rotates the tail of one up. Mm-hmm. He rotates the back leg of the other one down. He takes the fang and sort of moves it off to the side, and he does a couple of movements, and the dragons almost appear to like move as he's moving them, as the mirror begins to liquefy as these bubbles start popping out, and it becomes almost like this pool of energy.
Wow.
And Timmy walks over to Flynn and he says, okay, just think really hard about who you want to talk to.
Okay.
And step in over here, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to place your hand as you got to really think about whoever you want to talk to. Place your hand on the mirror. It's going to be kind of cold, but then their image should appear, and then you can take your hand away and you can talk to them.
Oh, how often can I do this?
This thing, it usually takes it's about a day to sort of warm up and cool down from all the magic.
I could talk to anyone I know.
Pretty much anyone you know, yeah. And I think the conversation can last up to an hour.
I kind of smile and just like get lost in thought for a moment. Okay, yeah, you said put my hand here?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll follow his instructions and put my hand there, and I will think for a moment, but then I know we have a lot of important things to do, and I will start thinking of Zorkol and just thinking about like how he looks and his face and his mannerisms, all that stuff, and trying to just really think about him, focusing on him.
And then as the mirror sort of solidifies, Timmy leans over to you, Flynn, and he says, okay, so if he's wearing anything reflective, this should sort of appear on the biggest reflective surface that he has. As you can see, the energy sort of collates to the center, and you start seeing images. You start seeing some trees and like some light through the trees, but then it shifts and moves, and you can see the ground really quick. And then it shifts and moves, and you see tree branches, and it's almost disorienting as you see these images moving around, almost as if the reflected surface is like dashing and darting and moving around.
Hey, hello.
As you hear that, you hear almost
Zorkol's nightmare, man.
Oh, he's everywhere.
Flynn's like impishly tormenting him.
Get rid of me.
You hear the swishing of air, and you hear a beast-like growl. And you don't hear any reply, but you hear these swishes through the air.
I have a feeling I know where I am. I don't want to interrupt him if he's fighting something, so I'll give it a minute. You said, Timmy, how long did you say this was last? I mean, it looks like
It should last a good while.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just wait a little bit and see if he's...
What the hell? Who is talking through my sword?
As you continue to hear this swishing through the air.
Hey, it's me, it's Flynn. Hey.
Best buddy?
Flynn, you did not pick a good time.
I can see that now. I'm so sorry.
I'm just trying to.
As you can almost see like this whoosh through the air before the mirror goes completely dark.
I think you got it.
And then the sword retracts, and you can see that from the sword retracting, you can see the open mouth of what almost looks like it's this dark black panther-like animal with these tentacles coming out of the back.
Number one.
And as the sword comes back, you can see this, what you know as a displacer beast, sort of reel back.
Flynn, you did not pick a very good time for this. I'm kind of in the middle of
You
something.
did great. You did great. It seems like you took care of it just fine.
No, it is still attacking me.
Okay, well,
give me 1 second.
Go ahead, I'll wait.
And you feel a couple more swishes through the air.
Flynn, this might take a while. What do you want?
Okay, so there's a place in... Is it Steelgate? That's where it was, right?
Saddlemount.
Flynn, you are never good at places that you
I
have
know.
to have.
I smacked Flynn on the side of the head.
Yeah, I'll reach out and I'll grab and I'll just pull him in. Here, you just tell him. There's mind flayers. And
As you see what looks like the sword has probably dropped out of his hand, flings through the air and sort of sticks itself into the mud. So you can just through the reflective surface see Zorkol now laying on the ground with this displacer beast, jaws directly in front of his head, with both of his hands holding open the jaws.
Oh my god.
is this something that I have in my book? I'm trying to remember where did we run across these?
No, we have never.
We've never?
No. We just love him.
I don't have them in my
They're the
notes at
best.
all, no?
You do not, no. As he's holding open the jaw of this displacer beast,
Flynn, please,
Remember-
concisely tell me what you would
Remember,
like.
roll it and twist the jaw, then you can get leverage.
he rolls it and twists it, and like the displacer beast just rolls back into where
No,
the
no.
position was.
Okay, so there's mind flayers in Saddlemount.
Okay, there's a displacer beast right on top of
Okay,
me. What do you want?
Ah.
Let someone know there's people that are being hurt and there's a monster and we have to take care of another monster portal or something. So just let people that you trust know about it so they can take care of it.
Okay, you just...
And he takes his back leg and kicks it out and sweeps under the back leg of the displacer beast, throwing it off balance so it drops onto his hip. Zorkal takes the moment to flip the beast onto its back, lay it down, and with both of his legs step on both of the tentacles that are coming out of the rear, the hind of this beast.
Quick, pick me up!
As he pushes the jaw back further and further and further, as he takes his elbow and drives it down into the throat of the displacer beast, and it shocks it for just a moment as you see Zorkal tumble off of it, run over to the sword, grab it, and you can see for just a moment what looks like the entire scene rotating, tumbling end over end as the sword is thrown through the air and lands directly into the head of the displacer beast. As the last thing that you see of the displacer beast is its dead face and its eye roll back into its head. As Zorkal steps up, yanks the sword out of the displacer beast and holds it up to his face.
Yes, Flynn.
Hey, good job.
Okay, I'm sorry. I only heard
You're
three
good.
of the words that you said back there. I was kind of...
You're busy.
doing
That's fine. I get it. I mean, you never really listen to me anyway.
Give me 1 second. You have a bit of displacer beast on your
Yeah,
face.
yeah, okay.
Wipes off the...
Amazing job. Glad to see you're doing well. Friend. So yeah, in Saddlemount, there's a lighthouse, and under the lighthouse, there's a den of mind flayers, and they're testing on people and hurting people. We saved some of them, but there seems to be maybe more, or they're still working there. We tried to destroy it, but we have other things to take care of.
Like hundreds!
Hundreds.
Can he hear me? Can you hear me, Zarkal?
Yes, I can hear.
All right.
The little whiny child.
I don't think you have to
Yes.
yell.
All right. Zarkal.
Don't make me come over there.
There's bugs. They're putting bugs in people's brains. Basically, they're cutting off the tops of their heads and doing horrible things.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Little
and
things,
I-
it sounds like.
There were people down there still very much alive. So maybe some of your Iron Light, the good ones, the non murderous ones, could go spelunking and pull what's left of the humanity out.
Yeah, I also kind of know. I mean, I didn't pay attention too much when they were teaching us the history of the collective, but I do remember that mind flayers played a pretty big role in it. So I figured that it would probably, make sense for us to take care of this problem.
Yes, and I assume a lot of people who are in the Iron Light are willing to step up and settle the score, as it was. Yes, I think.
I give Flynn
as
kind of
both
a
of us-
cross look at this.
As both of us probably thought they were just a story, but
Yeah, definitely not just a story.
okay. If this is what is happening, then I am going to. Galen and I have been putting together a little. It's still small. It's not as large as I want it to be, but we are slowly getting people who we can trust and bringing them in and sending word out. And we've. It's sort of been up to us. Meloru has been distant.
More
Lately.
distant than normal?
Well, she's gotten word of what has been happening, and I think it seems that she has not been rocked like this. It seems that in her eyes, the Iron Light was an unshakable thing, and it feels like her leadership was the cause of something like this happening, and she seems to feel terrible, and things are beginning to slip through her fingers, and so it is up to us to help who we can.
Yeah.
The group is not as big as I would like it to be.
Well, what about the others from our class?
They are part of it, yes.
They're
And
okay.
They're
They're
going,
okay? They're doing okay?
As far as I can see, I got word from all of them a couple of days ago.
Okay.
It does seem that we're progressing at the very least.
Right.
And they're actually, funny enough, as this timing goes, Pierre is currently on his way to Mableton.
Really?
Yeah. So we will see how that goes. And Flynn, for perhaps the first time in my life, I am keeping my fingers crossed for you as Pierre goes to Mebulin, I am praying that he brings back good news.
I mean, last time I checked, Victor was still there, so I'm sure he's keeping the place
I'm
safe.
sure Victor is still there. In Melaru's notes, he's still stationed there. I'm keeping hopeful that he has not succumbed to the words of Chaff, is all I'm hoping for.
I would originally think no, but honestly, I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah. Well, I will get the people that I trust, who are not currently in situations of their own that they cannot abandon, and I will see what we can do.
Zarkal, before you go,
Yes.
there's one other entrance to the den, or the lair, or whatever it is. There's a cave entrance in the cliff face, south of the lighthouse, if you need alternative ways of accessing it.
That is very helpful.
I
That
was
one
going
is
to say that. I definitely remembered that, and I was going to let you know for strategy.
Okay.
Flynn, I don't know this person, but that one is excessively dangerous, if
Be
you'll remember.
mindful of toxic fog.
Incredibly.
What's dangerous?
The cave entrance.
Well, yeah, that's what we do. We
Okay,
take care of
your
dangerous.
toxic fog, what else do I need to be aware of?
Cubes.
Puddings and
Slimes
oozes.
that will burn your shield up.
Yeah, and they do stuff. I mean, you know, mind players, they do mind stuff, so just be wary of that.
Mind your breathing.
The buttons have the needles.
Yeah, I use the.
Well, only the one.
Don't think we're giving him much confidence.
I feel like we're giving him a lot of information.
The lighthouse is going to be an easier access point, to be
Yes.
sure.
Okay. We will go to this lighthouse. You said in Saddlemount?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
or on the edge, on the outskirts.
Yeah, if you go to the basement of the lighthouse, there's a railway tunnel. That if you go straight, there's no detour. You go straight from the railway tunnel in the lighthouse, and there will be a pit. There's a sort of shack where they store some tools and things. And once you come up on that shack, it's adjacent to a hole in the ground that will lead you to what I understand to be the command center of whatever that hive is of the mind flayers below the city.
Did some damage to it, but
And at this point, you see Zorakal has shoved his sword into the side of a tree, so it's perpendicular to the tree.
Yeah.
And you see he's taken out a small notebook very similar to Flynn's. He's taking down notes and he's writing notes.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, can you give me any estimate as far as numbers? I need to know what sort of force to bring.
Hundreds.
There were two alive that we encountered, but they had some kind of servants floating about, and there were a lot of them in tubes.
yeah, they seem to be stationed or
Sleeping?
Also, when I was spying, Coranvol told him to wake up some of his people, so there might be more awake now.
Okay, I will take more than what I think is necessary, and we will do what we can.
I'm gonna try Zorkal to pull a string, to see if I can get you some help. So, keep an ear out for that.
Please, as much as you can, please give me a heads up, because things can really go to shit if these things are not coordinated. If I'm going in with a certain number of people and I come across another type of people that I don't know is also there, things can get messy.
Oh
So
my
please just let me know.
gosh. You're
Who
the
you are-
one who got captured and we saved your life. You're not the greatest at planning.
And look who is reaching out to who now. So please, let me know.
I will try. I'll do my best to give you a heads up. It's a long shot, so I wouldn't bet on it.
Okay, Alma. Zorkal, thank you. Let us know if anything happens. Keep us updated on it.
I will, and I shall try and send Raven, depending on what Pierre knows, just so you know who you can reach out to and who you cannot.
He's always got a way with words, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, we will see. Keeping my fingers crossed. Okay, is there anything else that you all need?
Just send me the notes on the displacer beast whenever you're done.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to kill one yourself, then you can get the notes yourself. But that is beside the point.
I gave you some stuff too. We traded some stuff, but it's fine. I mean, it's fine.
No, I understand. Okay. Okay, then I will begin getting my forces together.
Thank you, Zorkal.
Thank you.
And Flynn.
Yeah.
Just know that we are now smaller in number than we used to be. So, I fucking hate saying this, Your addition is always welcome within the Iron Light as a continued member as our numbers continue to dwindle. And just understand that this is not me trying to give you a compliment. This is just numbers-wise. We are lower in numbers, and we now want to continue our strength of... No, Flynn, do not take this as a compliment.
If you miss me, just say you miss me.
Okay, this meeting is ended. This is over.
And he starts waving his hands in front of the sword.
He's like, this is over. Turn this. Do
I'll
not
look
have
at
me.
Timmy and I'll give him a nod.
As Timmy turns just the silver tail back on the dragon, as all of the dragon's parts and pieces that were moved sort of move back and slide back into place. Zorkal's reflection disappears.
He's a great guy. You know, he's really changed.
Yeah, that was almost cordial.
Yeah, I know, right?
Even before the not compliment.
Yeah,
it
and
seemed
when I
like
said he's
he
my
respected
friend-
you as a peer.
Yeah, when I said he was my friend, he didn't say I wasn't his friend, so that's a improvement.
He called me a whiny child.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, he
if the
did.
Well,
shoe
that
fits.
is but we have maybe our first urgent matter taken care of, and we could probably maybe head to the next.
If I may, Timmy, can I reach out to someone through this?
I'm sorry. I just, like I said to Flynn, not until tomorrow.
Oh, once a
When we
day?
get back, we can do it.
All right. All right.
You need to reach out to somebody?
Can you just send a message?
Well, it weighs on me. We were able to save one of the people who had already been lobotomized, had already had their head cut. The Iron Knight can't do that. Only people connected with divine magic can. I don't know. I'll think about it. It's I don't have the connections I once did.
Oh. Yeah. I'm hoping their mindset has changed a little bit, or at least the people that are going to be going there will have the saving spirit in mind instead of the murderous one.
Either way, it needs to be dealt with, so we can't be picky, I suppose.
As long as they shut it down, I think is the most important part. Save
Agreed.
as many as they can in the process. But I think that's kind of what our class always tried to do.
I mean, Zorkal is a little bit brusque.
He wanted to kill me when he first met me.
I
He
mean-
did. He thought
He
you were
wanted to
a
kill
demon.
you.
He thought I was a demon.
Somebody
Oh.
told him you were a demon, though.
Who?
Yeah, him.
Why?
And I'll point over to... I'm gonna point over to Zerkath in the fucking prison cell.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, brusque, but he does seem to have a heroic bent.
I have a feeling that. I mean, we have to trust him. I trust him.
Shall we?
Does anyone? Can I just see a map real quick? I just wanted to see like how much of a journey do we have to this Vinville Rise?
That's a
from,
great question.
Yeah, we got quite the
Jen,
journey.
You got that map there, right?
Yeah. And I'll pull it out and lay it on the ground.
Okay, so we're going here to Autumn Hollow, and we've got to get up to this rise. It looks like we could maybe take a boat across to Warwall Harbor, and maybe travel up to around to the mountains. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Are we sure a boat is the fastest way to go?
Well, the Autumn Hollow is very nearly waterlocked. We'd have to go south and around.
We would lose time to go south and back around.
Do you not like boats?
No, boats are fine.
She loves boats.
Boats are fine. Why would you think I wouldn't like boats, Olma?
Maybe because your voice was going up and down, and you look a little nervous.
I just don't think that water travel's the fastest way to go. I'm quite sure if we go by land, it will go more quickly.
At least this way we'd go where the conflict doesn't seem to be at its peak, right?
I also just don't think you're right. I really don't think land travel is faster in this case.
How not that I care, but how long would we be on a boat?
Well, I mean, look at the gap. It is like a skip.
I don't really spend a lot of time on boats, so I don't actually know how far this is. There's not really a good key on this map either.
If we got a small enough,
Like a finger's width.
if we got a small enough craft, we might be able to take that river up deeper in to expedite our travel.
Oh.
Past Newport.
That sounds like a good.
So more time on a boat.
Aye, for faster
Your
travel.
favorite form of travel, remember?
Okay.
Really doesn't
No.
seem like it's your favorite.
It's okay. I'll be
Teacher?
here. You can hold my hand.
That's very kind of you, Alma, but if I hold your hand, I might break your fingers.
I can fix it. Well, I can't.
Alma,
but
don't
you
allow
can.
her to break.
And so
I'm not going to break her fingers, Kelly.
Another
I
thought.
give a cross look. Vessel.
Another thought. I do like that plan. The boat up the river. It is mountains are cold, so maybe here or in Autumn Hollow we grab. I'm going to look to grab a nice winter coat.
Well, also because the long eve, it's going to be pretty cold everywhere.
Extra cold.
That's true.
I didn't even
That's very,
think of
very
that.
true.
No sun. Oh man.
No sun, a little nighttime river cruise. It's going to be a fun time.
We'll be able to get stuff there, right? Because this teleportation circle goes to a town, right? So
There's probably another shack.
At Autumn Hollow, let's go to Autumn Hollow and,
And then
maybe
get stuff.
grab some coats.
Yeah.
I suppose Hayfried's quite good with putting together these little shacks. Just a thought. I didn't really think about the fact that he's probably had to build these things from scratch. It's not like he has a helper to do that. Unless
Well, he's
Timmy's
got Timmy
picked
now.
up some-
So, I mean,
I know, but these shacks have been around for some.
he's also been
Time.
part of a group that he's not anymore.
Oh,
so
that's true.
maybe
But
they
then
were
would they
used-
know about?
I don't know.
It's just a thought, a
Oh,
straight
yeah.
thought.
Shall
Let's
we?
go through the portal.
Yes.
Oh, actually, hey, Timmy.
Yep.
Before we go, I know Hayfried used to have a big closet. Maybe he can give us a few coats.
Well, he's not here, and there's a lot of clothes. I don't think
Right.
he would
No, you're
know
right.
if anything was missing.
Oh.
And maybe if I'm not looking at what you guys pick, then I can't lie when he comes back.
I don't know if we want to trouble you with that and take more from Hayfried that we've already
Oh no,
taken.
of course you don't. And he gives you like a huge wink.
It's
of
just
course.
clothes, Flynn.
It's
In the
just
grand scheme of
sitting
things,
here.
also.
But I mean,
It'll save us time. We don't have to then go shopping for clothes. Do you have time to go shopping for clothes right now?
How about this? I'm going to bring down the platform. And I'm going to tell you guys you should not get anything from the
Let's
platform.
just take what we
Oh
can.
no, Timmy, you told
should-
us not to.
No,
We
you should
shouldn't.
tell me that you're not going to, and then I'm going to be looking that way.
Timmy, we just handed you a very dangerous person, and I think it's best if you keep your eyes locked on them.
That's
I
right.
think that would be incredibly important too. Oh, and they just happen to be in the opposite direction of this platform that I'm
That's
bringing down for
very
no reason. And look, it's
convenient.
there already.
Oh no!
Oh no, I'm going to
Oh,
be
no.
watching.
I was wondering if you could get something for me. I don't know if you know where it is.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna be back, Flynn.
So, and I'll pull out my books. So and I'll hold up my Iron Light book with all the monsters that I write in it, and I'll show it to Timmy. Every one of us has one of these in the collective. Keep it on us for fights and to have advantages.
Cool.
Did you see any of these on Chath or Nessa, Eleanor? And where would you have put them?
Yeah, we took everything that they had on them and we kind of put them over there. They each had a book on them. It doesn't look exactly like that. They both kind of theirs were like a lot thicker.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
yeah, I can grab that for you. While you guys are definitely
Definitely
not
not.
grabbing.
Definitely not grabbing
coats.
I am
anything.
not taking this nice,
Certainly.
thick winter coat. Nope.
Okay.
Not
I'll go
gonna-
Definitely not taking the books that you have sitting here.
And as this wardrobe platform comes down and attaches to the center, you see rows of wardrobes and closets, and you see coat racks and stands, and you see like shoe cases, and you see all of these things. And so as you guys are going through, I'm going to have everyone make an investigation check.
Oh my
for me.
gosh.
As Timmy goes to get those books, we'll go down the line, starting with Kellic.
Investigation.
Investigation.
hot dog.
You're still at disadvantage.
24.
We really need to sleep. for you.
24. Okay, Kellic, you go through and you find
on our boat.
this.
Yeah.
You find this thick wool jacket that's got like a fur collar onto it, and you find it, and it's got these like leather wraps around the arms, just to sort of keep everything condensed and connected. And as soon as you try it on, it instantly warms your body, and you feel instantly warmer. As not just your torso is warm, but it also, like, the warmth and the feeling extends down into your legs, into your feet, up into your head. You feel very warm.
I look down at the symbol of Famir now in my hand as I'm experiencing warmth for the first time since for a very long time. And I just have a quiet moment.
Okay. All right. Mechanically, this sweater is going to give you are going to have advantage on any saving throws that have to do with being cold, or the weather condition of being cold. If someone were to, say, attack you with a spell that is an ice spell,
Artemisia freezing me to death, for example.
of course, it would not have any effect
Not a
on.
+1, no.
But you do have advantage on any cold condition.
Okay, so it's not resistance to cold.
It is not resistance to cold. It's advantage on any saving throws that have to do with that. Olma. Olma, I'm going to have you roll your investigation. What was that?
It was a 14.
A 14. Okay, Olma, you find it's not quite as heavy as Kellic's, but it is this nice little coat, and it's almost a little bit short on your torso. You think it might have been either originally gnomish or maybe halfling. And the inside is lined with this fur that's really warm, and you also find these nice little mittens for yourself, and it's the kind of mittens that they don't go over each finger. It's just kind of one big thing for your whole hand. No mechanical benefits, but it does keep you warm for the time.
Great. I'm going to put my cloak over it, though.
Okay.
My invisibility cloak is going to be always just over that.
Yes, it will keep you a lot warmer than nothing.
Yes, perfect.
Nestle, with disadvantage, what would you roll?
No.
I'm so tired of disadvantage, y'all. I'm exhausted.
Yep.
Literally. 4.
Thessaly, you go through and you look and you open up one of the wardrobes and you shift through there's a couple of things of chainmail and a couple of lighter shirts, and then you find this beautiful coat. It's got it's leather on the outside and this warm fur on the inside, and it's almost like this studded on the outside, and it's got these beautiful studs, and it's got this beautiful sort of overlapping wrap. You think, oh my gosh, incredible. You put it on, and as soon as you put it on, you sort of size it to yourself, and as your shoulders come forward, the entire back rips.
No.
And both of the arms rip and slice in half as you completely shred this thing.
Oh, Tess, you didn't account for the armor.
And I have flashbacks to every time as a child that my parents ever tried to take me to a tailor or get any kind of nice clothing, and nothing would ever fit me. And I just roll my eyes.
And as you finish rolling your eyes, they settle on the table right next to the wardrobe, and you see a little pair of earmuffs.
Dejectedly, I grab the earmuffs, but I do not put them on. I'm putting them in my bag.
All right. Seeker, what'd you get?
22.
22. Nice. Okay, so you find this warm coat. It's like this really sleek black. It's got this collar, this leather collar that sort of comes up and is high enough to, once popped up, can protect your ears, can protect your face, but it can also sort of be worn down onto your shoulders. And you look and you see that almost kind of similar to Kellic's, but much lower on the wrists. It's got these wraps that you can tighten so that you can have dexterity with your hands and no cold will actually get up into the jacket. And right below that jacket, you see a pair of these snow boots. and they look super comfy and cozy on the inside, perfect fit for you. And as you try them on, you put each of them on, and you're feeling them out. They feel good, and you sort of do this little hop, this little jump, just to get everything fit correctly. And as soon as your heels land onto the ground, from underneath the shoes, these wooden panels spring out and almost make these snowshoes underneath you.
Hey!
So, and you look and you see that most likely any sort of, when you're walking on snow, any sort of snow that you might be walking on top of or other people might have to wade through, that might slow your movement. You are not at all encumbered by the speed, and you can walk perfectly on top of any snow.
This will come in handy.
All right. Shraya.
I got a 12.
You got a 12. Awesome. So with your wings and everything and your form, there's really not much for you. You do find this jacket that looks pretty nice. Unfortunately, in order to get it on, you're probably going to have to tear off the sleeves and make it into a vest. But you're able to do that. You're able to sort of find the stitching, tear it off, and make yourself this comfy vest. And it's going to keep you warm, but you know that in the back of your head, you know that your armor is also going to do perhaps a little bit. So you should be good to go.
I hope he doesn't want this back.
And Flynn, what'd you get?
A natural 20 for 22.
Ooh, okay.
Very good.
Flynn, you're flipping through all of these clothes. You're going down the aisle, and you just can't find anything that is your size that, like, you find a couple of things, but they just don't really look cool. And you finally get to the very end. And right there, not in a wardrobe, not in a drawer, but on a mannequin that looks very much your size, there is a full winter outfit. And as you put it on, you feel the warmth, just like Kellic did. You feel the warmth immediately. You put on the pants, you put on the shoes, you put on the mitts. It is a full matching outfit. And you can feel some sort of enhancement, but you're not exactly sure what that means yet.
Huh.
But you feel very warm.
Well, it's warm.
Yes. And that is what you all find.
I'm ready.
Is there armor on this platform or
No.
mostly clothing? Okay.
Besides the very thin chainmail that Thessaly sifted through, this does mostly seem like fashion and garments and stuff like that.
Okay.
Everybody else ready?
Sure.
You
Yes.
don't have anything, Thessaly.
Yes, I do.
Are you gonna be warm enough?
I guess, well, my blades, I can light them on fire. So I guess, if it really comes down to it, I sort of have my own personal ember situation.
Nothing was cute enough for you?
Oma, nothing fit me.
Oh.
I'm used
Well,
to it.
mine's a little bit snug, but I could make
No,
it work.
no, Oma,
and-
I don't. I ripped it. I literally ripped it. I don't want to rip your clothing.
I'm sorry,
It's all
Thessaly.
right. It happens quite frequently.
We could make something your size one day.
One day. I'll look forward to that. That sounds wonderful.
Well, I mean, we haven't even had time to rest, so
I
making
know.
clothes is kind of down on the list of things to do. But
You're
when we
absolutely
have
right.
time,
It's very kind of you to even consider. Oh, thank you.
Flynn, I've got those books for you.
Awesome.
They're right here. And he hands them over. Looking at these books, they look like they were once originally very similar to yours, but very worn down.
Yeah. It's cool.
Pages added, pages
So cool.
ripped out, and almost completely worn down to the bone as he hands them over.
Actually, I was curious, and I know this is a big ask, but I was looking at the books you were looking at earlier when we got here, and they're fascinating.
Yeah.
Being able to change magic, I didn't know that you could tweak spells, and it's blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy that I could take?
I've only got the one. I'm almost done with it. So if you come back, I'll be done with it by the time you get back.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. If
Okay.
You,
Yeah, for sure. Just remind me when you get back, and I'll hand that off to you. But I think the teleportation circle's ready for you guys. If you want to get going.
Yes, please.
We should really go.
Yes.
bye, Timmy. I like your new glasses.
Thank you. As he sort of pushes them up on his nose.
Bye, Timmy.
Stay
Goodbye.
safe, Timmy. We
Bye,
have
Timmy.
very few reliable allies these days. It has become apparent. So we appreciate you.
Of course. I will tell Hayfried that you stopped by and that you didn't, wink, wink, take any of his clothes.
Or rip any of them.
I've also got everything that you guys were talking about in mind, so I'll ask him about those. Okay. Teleportation circle is ready to go, and hopefully I will see you all soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
I'll just go to take the books and put them in my bag, and I'll put Ilonar's book in, and then I'll grab Chas and I'll kind of just hold on to it a little bit and kind of like look at it, and I'll look up to see if I can see Chas' cage.
You can see him sitting, facing opposite, looking out into the void, motionless, as his platform rotates around.
And I'll just kind of like watch it for a little bit and shake out of it and put the book in the bag and backpack on, and I'll step towards the circle.
Okay, and I tug on my sweater and my gloves, my mittens. Autumn Hollow, here we come.
Okay.
Happy long eve, Timmy.
Yes.
Are you all ready to go?
Ready?
Okay,
Goodbye.
keep your
Happy
fingers
long
crossed.
eve.
Keep your fingers crossed that I know how to do this one.
Wait, what?
Oh.
That is where we're going to end this episode.
Will we make it?
We're going to call it right there. Did Timmy get the spell?
Do we
right?
get dismembered?
We're going to call it right there. Thank you all so much for listening, and we can't wait to see you all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Hey, nerds. Rebecca here. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. It really helps us in the long run. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye, nerds.